All right, this is going to be a review of the Tactile Turn Smooth Operator. On the table here, we have a version 1 in the short size and a version 2 in the standard size. I've had this version 1 for several years now, and I would say it's probably my all-time favorite pen, not just out of the Tactile Turn lineup, but just my favorite pen in general. And so today, we're going to see how these two compare. When the Smooth Operator first came out, uh, it came with an Ultim bolt carrier. So this little piece on the inside here was made of Ultim, which is like a high quality heat resistant plastic. And it ended up cracking on several people, and Tactile Turn replaced those. And so they sent me an Ultim and a titanium replacement. So I put the titanium replacement in here and have not had any issues since. And it looks like the version 2 comes with a titanium bolt carrier. Another thing that people didn't really care for is uh, that the seam where the front and the body come together uh, is visible and you can feel it. So Tactile Turn is known for the spiral knurling that kind of spirals around the pen all the way up. And what that allows them to do is to pretty much hide the seam where the front and the body come together. So on this pen, you can't really see the seam there. But if I unscrew this tip a little bit, this is just a piece of kind of rubbery clear material. You can use a rubber band. Sometimes it's a little hard to grip the front of this, so this just gives me a little grip. You can see the seam there when you unscrew it. So if we screw that back together, then that seam pretty much disappears. So yeah, that was something that I've seen some people complain about. That never really bothered me. I can barely feel the seam, but it's not too bad. And so what they've done on the version 2 is they've accented the seam by kind of cutting these two grooves on either side of the seam. So if we unscrew it, sorry, my camera's not really focusing very well. If we unscrew it, you can see that there's kind of that groove that's carved out on either side of the seam. And so some people don't really care for that visible accent at the seam, but I actually like it. On their website, I would say um, it kind of looks maybe like it's painted on, but it's actually it's like carved in. And so in person it looks really good in my opinion. So I don't mind that. So, some other differences. This isn't really anything that I've seen anyone complain about, but just to point out a couple differences here. On the version 1, the bolt is smooth, and on version 2, you can see the Torx bit there. So I actually prefer this. Uh, on Tactile Turns, other bolt actions, they have the smooth bolt on there. This is one of the early versions of the bolt action. But yeah, I don't mind that. It allows a lot easier access to that bolt. You can take it in and out without having to use pliers. So yeah, I actually like the Torx bit there. Um, yeah, let's just compare the smoothness of these different bolts. So the Smooth Operator, the version 1, let me just hold this up to the mic so you can hear it. It is very smooth. Um, it's the smoothest of all of these. So this is an early version of their slim bolt action. Let's listen to this one. Very smooth as well. I would say the spring tension in this one feels a little bit stronger, but other than that, very smooth. And then let's listen to the bolt on the version 2. So it sounds a little gritty, kind of sandy or something. But I think that's typical of titanium, and they wear in pretty good over time. When I first picked up the, this is a slim side click, this was pretty gritty, and over time, it's smoothed out to where it's really smooth. Yeah, so I can't remember how these felt at first, but they've really smoothed out over time, and so I think the grittiness of this one will go away eventually. I think that's just the nature of titanium. Whenever you have titanium kind of rubbing up against itself, it tends to have that kind of gritty, grindy sound and feel to it. But it wears in really well over time and becomes smooth. So I'm not too worried about that. The version 2 is a little darker. That's a little bit of a darker sand wash, both on, or stone wash, both on the body and the clip. So that's just a slight difference there. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I really like the stone wash. It's just that this one's a little darker. So, all right, let's get into what I like about the smooth operator. So the first thing I want to say about Tactile Turn is they put a lot of thought into their designs. So every EDC pen company that's making titanium pens comes out with a bolt action pen. It's just a super easy concept, and if you're trying to eliminate plastic pieces in here and have a fully metal mechanism, the bolt action is the simplest way to go. And so, of course, Tactile Turn would have a bolt action in their lineup. But what sets Tactile Turn apart is the shape of the cutout here. So there's something about engaging their bolt action. It it just feels so ergonomic. It's like the direction that my thumb wants to go. And so it's not that Tactile Turn simply came out with a bolt action just like everyone else. They've really put some thought into it, and I think they've come up with a really good design that sets them apart from their competitors. So another thing that I like about Tactile Turn is the taper of the fronts. Some pins I've seen, they have a very blunt or short taper. This is the Anso pin. It has an even uh, uh, shallower or longer taper here. And I really like the Anso design. But yeah, I just like the look, the aesthetic look of this longer taper in the front. And I think they come up with good lengths. Uh, so the longer size is for to fit a pilot insert, and the shorter ones are to fit a Parker style insert. But even among other companies who make pins that fit a Parker style refill, they're just too long. They're approaching like 5.5 inches or longer, and they're still taking a Parker size refill. And I prefer a pin that's around 5 to 5.25. So here's the slim side click, and it's just a little over 5.25. Here's the original smooth operator, and it is 4 7/8, or pretty close to that. And we'll measure this one. So I actually bought a short front that we're going to swap out on this one. So we'll compare the lengths of those two once I swap those out. But yeah, I just think Tactile Turn puts a lot of thought into their designs. But what sets the smooth operator apart from the other pins in Tactile Turn's lineup are three things. So I prefer the slim diameter. I think their standard diameter, it's close to like 11 millimeters. And to me, that's just way too thick. I feel like I'm writing with one of those huge pencils we had in kindergarten. Um, and so I prefer a diameter around 9 millimeters, and their slim line is around 9.3 millimeters, which is almost at the top end of the range for my preference, but it still feels really good in the hand to me. So I really like the slim design. And these next two features are what's most important to me. The smooth body and the bent clip allows this to go in and out of the pocket very easily and all day long without tearing your shirt pocket up. So we mentioned Tactile Turns spiral knurling, and it feels really good in the hand. I really like their uh, this spiral knurling. It's unique to Tactile Turn, and I don't think they should be getting rid of that anytime soon. It's a really cool feature. But the problem is, whenever the spiral knurling goes under the clip, this feels like a file. If you rub your hand on it this way, it feels like a file. And uh, yeah, so when it's under the clip here, it just files away the material in your shirt pocket and your pocket becomes frayed. And so what I think they should do is just sand out a little section under the clip that's smooth. That will allow this to go in and out of the pocket very easy. Uh, the clip matters as well though. So here we have the Anso pen and it has a smooth body, but it has a milled clip. And I I'm not I'm not a huge fan of the milled clip. I think I like the way they look, but there's a little bit more tension, but uh, compared to their bent clips. But I think the point where the clip touches the body is too sharp. I think they should round that off a little bit. So if we're looking at this design, this is kind of how their current design looks. And what this does is it provides a very small amount of surface area uh, as far as the contact between the clip and the body. And so it's trying to hold on to your pocket material in a very small space. And that requires a lot more tension. But then when you drag that small surface area around your pocket, it just, yeah, wears down the material. Whereas if you increase the amount of surface area by rounding this out, then you're holding onto the material with more surface area, and it's going to um, allow you to uh, put more tension really between your clip and your body. So it'll even grip tighter, uh, and you'll be able to slide it in and out of your pocket without ruining your material. So I like the bent clip and I like the smooth body. This allows me to take this in and out of my pocket multiple times all throughout the day on whatever dress shirt I'm wearing, and it will not damage the material one bit, no matter how much I use it. So those are the features that really stand out to me on the smooth operator: the slim diameter, the smooth body, and the bent clip. Um, they also have this modular design that they came out with in the version 2. Um, Most of their pins, uh, they have this like very short front, and the length of the pin is determined by the body of the pin. On the version 2, all the three different sizes, so they have three different sizes. Um, the standard, which is this one, the short, which is this one, and they also have a shorter one, which is called the mini. And on the version 2 of the smooth operator, the body of each size is the same, and the length and what refill it takes is determined by the length of the front. So I prefer the short, I prefer a Parker refill, and so I've bought a short front to replace this. And this allows you to convert your pen from a Pilot refill to a Parker refill by just swapping out the front. I think they sell the replacement fronts for like $40. So you can go between the two different sizes instead of having to buy two separate pins. Um, so I I'm not sure if I like that feature. I kind of like the short front, but I do think it's probably a good idea with the smooth operator because they're trying to put these accent marks around the seam, and I just don't think that would look quite right down here at the tip. So putting it somewhere near the middle um, is a better idea if you're going to accent the seam. And so then that allows you to do this modular design. So I actually like the concept, and I think it's a good move. So yeah, I have bought some replacement parts here. And so I bought the titanium nitride, which is like these gold colors. Oh, come on, camera. You're really getting on my nerves. There we go. Uh, oh well. I'm not sure if I'm going to put those on. It was kind of an impulse buy. I saw some pictures that I thought it looked good, and but I prefer. the stone wash, um, the stone wash clip and bolt. So I don't know if I'm going to swap those out. But I did get a a knurled short front, and I'm going to swap these out. And you can see here it came with the O-ring. So Tactile Turn makes their fronts. They put this little O-ring on here. It helps keep that to keep the threads tight. It acts kind of like a lock washer. So I'm glad that came with a an O-ring because I forgot to buy any. And I also forgot to buy a replacement spring. So it looks like they've sent some replacement springs along. This one I think is for the standard size and oh, there you go. And I think this is the one I'm going to want for the short front. So yeah, let's swap these out. So there's your pilot refill. I prefer a Parker style refill, and I actually my favorite one is the Uniball Jetstream. The Jetstream ink is really good. Let's see, I have some of their disposable pens. I think you can change the refill in these, but it's I think meant to be more of a disposable. Um, But this is the Jetstream RT, I think it's called. And the Jetstream ink is my favorite ink. Um, with the way that I use a pen, um, I need a ballpoint, I need a fine tip, and I need a fast drying ink that's dark. And the Jetstream provides that. So it's my favorite refill. So let's put this in. So I think that looks really good. Works great. So yeah, it's a little bit gritty feeling up here still. The distance that the refill comes out of the tip is perfect. It feels really good in the hand. I like these rings below and above the knurling, and the knurling feels really good. It's a pretty shallow carve. It feels similar to the knurling on a Rotring 600, but the Rotring feels like the cuts are a little deeper, so it's a little bit more grippy. Whereas this one, they're pretty shallow cuts, and so it's a softer grip. And yeah, I think this is perfectly done. This is great. So, full disclosure here, I was making this video earlier, and when I put the Parker refill in, uh, it wouldn't come out of the tip. So, and I even tried it with a Parker branded refill. And so when I would try to put the pin or the refill through the tip, it wouldn't go through. It was getting stuck. And then whenever I would try to push it this way, it wouldn't come out. Yeah, it's not going through. Ugh. Hmm. Wonder if I could drill that out. It goes to the previous one. So I pulled out the insert from the Anso pen. It takes they ship it out with an Odo gel, and those so every manufacturer makes theirs just slightly different, and the Odos are a bit thinner. Even this one's not wanting to go through. Goes through this one just fine. Man. And so I thought at first maybe the hole just didn't get drilled out wide enough. But what I think actually happened was that there was sort of like a ring burr in the tip, so that most of most of the hole was the right diameter, but right at the end there was sort of this ring, like a ring burr that was preventing the refill from going through. And so what I did was I took uh, a piece of sandpaper and I cut a small strip of it and rolled it up and put it in the end of my screw gun and put this inside of here and just sanded the inside diameter down. And yeah, now it works perfect. So I let Tactile Turn know about that. But yeah, no issues after sanding that down. Um, so yeah, so I did buy this titanium nitride clip. I don't know if I'm going to put it on. I bought the bolt as well. Um, but yeah, it's nice that you can oh, this is bigger. I think maybe they sent me the wrong clip. Um, I think this is a T20. Let's see here. Come on, it'll focus. Yeah, I think they sent me uh the clip for their standard pins. So let's see if we can get that swapped out with a smooth operator size. But yeah, like I said, that was more of like an impulse buy for me. I I'm not sure if I'm gonna even put them on, even if I get that swapped out, because I really like the stone wash finish that comes with it. So anyhow, that's my review of the Smooth Operator. This is, I would say, my favorite pen. Oh, I wanted to compare the length. So yeah, so this version 2 is a little bit longer. It's like five and an eighth, 5 and 3/16 maybe. And the version 1 is 4 and 7/8. So like a quarter-inch difference in length, but I don't mind it. It's such a small difference. I'm not sure if it matters. I think maybe I do like the little bit longer one because it keeps the bolt off the back of your hand. Sometimes when you're turning it, you can feel it on the back of your hand here. So I think I like this new design. So yeah, like I said, the Smooth Operator is my favorite pen of all time. I highly recommend it. It gets, like I said, it gets a bit of a bad reputation, but I think by replacing uh, the bolt carrier with titanium and then adding these accent rings around the seam, just really takes this pen to a new level. And I like the modular design. So then you can swap out fronts if you want to put a knurled front or change the length of your pen so you can put different refills in. It's a great idea, and I like the Torx bit in the bolt. There's a Torx bit on the top. So, yeah, I highly recommend the Tactile Turn Smooth Operator. So, that's it. Thanks for watching.